Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 25.4 podcast.
An unrehearsed, hastily assembled program presenting inside opinions and forecasts on major issues of the day.
Good evening, and welcome again. I'm your host, Andrew, and joining me, as always, are Brandon, Tim, and Robert. Hi, fellas.
Hey, folks. We are a decidedly muted group of individuals this evening.
We're building to a massive crescendo.
You never heard of this little thing called critical mass? You know.
God damn it.
There's a build-up.
Everybody's quiet. I gotta pump you up too, Robert.
Oh, really?
All right, that should be better.
All right.
So, Brandon, you're not in your usual space tonight. Where are you?
No, nor am I in a space I would normally choose to be in. I'm surrounded by iPads at the Minneapolis-St. Paul airport on my way to hop on a flight to Arizona for a nice little mini vacation for a wedding. So
Don't lie, you're going to Caracas.
Caracas, Pakistan. Yes, it's right on the flight deck over there.
He's going down to the Caymans to make a withdrawal.
Approximately how many iPads can you see just right around you?
It's got to be on the order of 60.
Are you breaking out anywhere? Like hives or something?
I'm starting to get bumps all over my wrist.
I think that's a repetitive motion thing.
Mm-hmm.
Your other hand once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and plead the fifth on that one.
Mm-hmm. Sure you are.
All right, so let's get right into it, shall we?
Only if you can get a little bit more enthusiastic, Mr. Producer Guy.
You guys have to get me excited.
Hey, baby.
Somebody needs to stroke me.
You want to have sex?
That's usually my
Maybe.
line. We just had a guess. Our first time on the show. Somebody with purple hair just peeked over your shoulder.
Yeah, get them to sign a release form.
Oh my goodness.
Turn around.
Oh,
That's
that's bad
supposed to be on the
business.
show.
A release form that says we can humiliate them at will.
Come on. Brandon's not playing ball.
He's not playing.
Oh, you guys were talking to me. I didn't know who we were talking to.
Well,
Yeah.
look over your right shoulder there.
That's your
right
left.
shoulder.
That's true.
Your other right.
It didn't make sense to look over my right shoulder. All right.
Uh,
Can we just get the show started? Now you guys are
Yeah,
just a
no.
bunch of animals.
Well, this is
Oh,
the
we are started. Yeah, we're on our way.
we roll with the
You guys are picking on me because I can't fight back loudly.
We
You
roll
know,
with
I
the
think we're gonna
punches,
take
and
advantage
ideally
of
in this
this.
situation, it'll end up with you getting punched.
Getting yelled at by my wife because I'm already too loud.
All right, so let's officially get into the show then.
With the airing of grievances, I got a lot of problems with you people.
Robert, you've got some problems tonight, don't you?
I've got many problems, but I only really want to talk about two of them, and they're not really my problems. They just have to be my problems with other people. Or in the first case, an advertising entity that is Mobile Nations. I don't know. I said this online earlier in the week, and somebody responded, "Hey, they're in the business to make money," and I get that, but I think the whole co-opting of the Ninja Cat by Mobile Nations, where they slapped it on a T-shirt and put their little what Daniel Rubino has taken to the comments on more than one occasion, I believe, to one among many things he's criticized commenters for doing. The whole making a mockery joke of the whole seems faster thing, and poor people are spending money on those shirts and they don't even know they're being mocked, which is kind of sad. But I just thought it was kind of crass, and a couple people said to me, well, they're in there to make money. And yeah, I get that, but it really wasn't their idea. Jumping in and making money off of someone else's idea like it just rubs me the wrong way. That's just me. So that was kind of something that kind of threw me off. And then, of course, we have Windows 10 build 141, the Shut Up Tall Farot build. I've coined it.
Perrot.
Pardon me, tall Perrot.
I kind of like tall parrot. Can we
Tall
say
parrot.
tall parrot?
It is now a true fast build with all of the expected things that don't work correctly. That apparently people were clamoring for. I personally liked the stability of the builds that Gabe and the team were putting out, and I would have preferred that they stay that way. If I were going to offer my 2 cents on what should have changed, it probably should have been the slow ring. Should have gotten slower. But there's been, I think by caving into a critic, throwing a kind of a temper tantrum, and riling up the natives like this, they've now done something that Microsoft has. They overcompensate. They get some criticism and then they turn around and they overcompensate. And I think the reaction to this was a little overcompensation.
So what you're saying is it really is the Paul Thurrott build then?
I think it is. I really think it is. And my fear, they have a lot of goodwill built up right now. Windows 10 is being very warmly and well received. I think that has to do with a lot of the changes they're making, but I also think it has to do with the relative stability and the quality of what they put out so often. Now, come on, we're talking about quite a few builds that Microsoft didn't actually have to do. Again, a lot of this, I think, Windows Insider stuff is a reaction to the disaster, the perceived disaster that Windows 8 was, and that closed off development process. So now they've gone to the opposite extreme. They've opened it wide up. And I appreciate that. I like that they've done that. I think it's a great hallmark of the new Microsoft. I just worry that there's always going to be those folks out in the press in fairly predominant positions where the slightest misstep along the way is going to be amplified 1,000,000 times, and you're going to have people running around screaming, it's Vista, it's Windows Me, Windows 10 is faltering, they're doing this, they're doing that, it's going to be a disaster. And why open yourself up to bad things happening more frequently? Now we're talking, we're going to get a fast ring build every month. Well, if this is the quality of the build on the fast ring every month, I think the potential for a major screw-up is a lot bigger. And all it takes is one really bad error or mistake during an upgrade process or something really, really bad that they didn't account for to happen, and we're going to have negative headlines all over the place. And I kind of wish they would have taken the fast ring and they would have limited it to folks who are registered as developers on the Windows Store or the Windows Phone Store, so that we could be assured that people who are in the fast ring understand software development at least somewhat. You know what I'm saying?
It still wouldn't matter because they made it so easy now to register as a developer.
Yeah, and that doesn't. That gives the quality, that ups the quality of the user arguably, but that doesn't up the quality of the people writing media stories. And I don't think that addresses that problem. I'm fearful that now they've been this overreaction to what I think is an overreaction to silence a very vocal minority. I would go so far as to say. I think they've maybe opened themselves up where they didn't need to. They're doing such. This leads into my information, and I'll save that for later. But I just don't think it was worth the risk. I don't think changing the standard of the fast ring build in terms of quality was worth the risk, or it will be worth the risk. That's just my 2 cents. But baby got his pacifier, so.
See, and I don't think for fast ring, getting one build a month is fast enough. Because if you have one build a month, you're kind of expected, you've had 30 days to make this thing stable. If you're pushing out a build every week, yeah, I expect it to be broken, and I expect there to be bugs, and I expect all that type of stuff.
That was my reaction too. I saw one a month, and I thought, wait, they just said they were going to release this summer. So that's what, April, May, June, July. That's 4 more builds. 3 more if you think a July release is going to be RTM. That's only 3 more builds. That's not enough.
Tell me why that's not enough. Tell me why 3 more technical public preview builds are not enough. So give me an example of Microsoft putting out an operating system that already has had this many preview builds already. And Windows 7, I don't believe, had this many technical preview builds already. And Windows 7 debuted with tremendous quality. So I don't know. I don't buy that argument. I don't buy that the community, needs to have all these builds in order for this to become the OS we all think it needs to be. I think the builds have a very specific purpose. They're to gather telemetry. They're to gather feedback. They're to make sure that along the way the big decisions they're making are not going to be Windows 8 disaster type UI decisions. But I just don't buy that argument. I just don't think that at the end of the day, I don't think we're all that important that we need more than 3-4 more builds before the thing debuts.
Well, I am important, Robert, so I don't care what you
Well, I have self-confidence issues, clearly, so maybe this is just my problem.
As he drinks out of his Apple mug.
I think part of it is the lack of new features. A lot of stuff that was showcased. So the very first Windows 10 build came out with like the new Photos app and maybe 1 or 2 other things. But there's a lot of things that they showed that haven't come in any of the builds yet. So I think, just kind of seeing the momentum of how they're doing so far, it's like, oh, well, it's going to take us 6 builds just to get some of these new features. So, if it came out with all of those right away, people would just be looking for stability.
Yeah, I think there's really one thing everybody's looking for from a Windows 10 release. Right, yeah.
I really want to see the IM, the Skype and IM messaging desktop phone stuff. That is my big thing that I care about.
Yeah, I don't think it's really worth their time to put out a build that doesn't have a new feature in it. I don't think. I mean, everybody got this build, and we were kind of like, okay, what changed besides all the stuff that got broken?
Well, see, in 2 days they're going to be like, all right, when's the next build come in?
Yeah, the transparent start menu on my dark background of my Heart Windows 10 PC Windows Insider wallpaper has actually now made it more difficult to read some of the stuff on the start menu because I don't have a colorful background that all this stuff contrasts on. The transparency actually makes things more difficult. So, yeah, I was the same. I'm completely underwhelmed by this build. I don't.
Well, not only that, but tell me who was asking for that. Who was asking for a translucent background of the start menu? Who really cares? What we've been asking for is the Spartan thing they showed. We were asking for Cortana since day one that they showed it. And they finally gave us that, a couple builds ago. So we all want Spartan, and that, honestly, that should be the thing that they're pushing out to insiders is the new stuff, because the new stuff is where people are going to give feedback or going to break it on certain hardware. I mean, just if all you're doing is tweaking existing things, then save it, man. But
I mean, don't underestimate the value of the telemetry that's being gathered up in the background. I mean, they're finding a lot of bugs that way through crashes and other data. So even if they're not delivering builds that have a lot of new features, that's still worthwhile in terms of gathering that data.
Well, right, but you can't tell me that with a new build they get different telemetry. It's the same people doing an upgrade. How many new people grab 10.00 or 1.0041?
Well, yeah, but if you're the guy behind the dashboard and you're looking at the previous build and you're trying to figure out whether or not you've fixed a problem sufficiently, and you don't see that data show up in the telemetry of the next build that didn't have a lot of new features in it, I'd say that's a good way to judge whether or not you've actually fixed a problem. I assume that people are doing that. I would be. I mean, that's part of the validation process, isn't it?
Maybe they should have said that fast ring is bug fixes and features, and slow ring is new features only.
Well, that's kind of something I was going to say is, if the fast ring gets up to where it's 2 or 3 builds a week, you would expect more that most of those builds will be bug fixes or behind the scenes things that you don't necessarily see a difference in. Where if you're getting one release a month or two a month on the slow ring, you would notice and see more of those new features coming through.
Yeah, and you nailed it. That they don't have 3 people working on this thing. There's a lot of work that's going into this every day. They're clearly working on a lot of infrastructure components. So we're developers. We know just because something isn't shown to the user doesn't mean nothing was done.
Yeah.
So a lot of that stuff is getting stabilized, and I think we're going to see a lot of that stuff come at the end.
Yeah.
Well, also from a developer standpoint, though, I honestly can't believe how much stuff that was working is broken very badly in this. I'm kind of like, what are you doing? That was working fine. Why did you touch it?
Fast ring build. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah, but even as a developer, if something's working fine, why are you playing with it?
Because it's tied to some other component that you need to replace in order to do other type of development things. It's just, it's too easy to talk from the outside.
Think about the number of code branches spread out across Microsoft right now, with the thousands of hands in them writing small features, big features, all in individual branches, and those things having to be merged up into a deployable package. And now you're being rushed to get builds out. I can see how it happens.
Yeah, I have enough issues or worries or fears when I merged 2 branches up and down on a simple website. I can't imagine what all goes into something like this.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to sidetrack the grievances for one brief moment before I think we'll get back on some more Windows 10 stuff. My grievance is with EA Sports, because in case I haven't mentioned it before, I'm a bit of a golf geek. And so the only real console game I ever play is EA Sports PGA Tour Golf. And I've been playing it ever since it was released on a Sega Genesis. So that shows, for one thing, how old I am. And there was no.
I played on a Sega.
There was no new release last year, so we've really been in the dark a little bit. And the release cycle, the few years previous to that, was in April to kind of correspond with the Masters tournament, which is the first major of the golf season. But this year, there is a new version coming out, but it's not coming out until the end of June, from my understanding. So a few more months to wait still, after waiting 2 long years. So let's get with it, EA. Let's get that shit out and make it great. Tim?
Maybe they got a fast ring build you can sign up for.
I should look into that. I really should.
So last week I talked about MLB At Bat and the subscription and the streaming of baseball games. So that was on behalf of a colleague of mine, and he walks over to my desk earlier this week and he goes, "Hey, look at this. It works." Well, so the original problem inside of the app was when you look at whatever pivot that shows all the current scores, it just was stuck on the final game of last season. So it just wasn't updating to any of the new games. However, he'll get a Toast notification based on a subscription to a team, like, hey, I want to see when the Brewers are playing. So he'll get a Toast notification saying, hey, the game has started. Tap the Toast, he gets taken into the live stream of the game.
Really?
So that's neat.
Huh.
However, okay, what happens when you close it and you can't go back? You now have to wait for another Toast. So now in order to be able to use it, you need to subscribe to all notifications tied to a game, such as a start of a game, maybe a pitching change, a scoring change, end of an inning, any of that type of stuff. Just get hammered with notifications.
That's
kind of genius, actually.
It sounds to me like it's got a happy accident written all over it.
Happy accident is correct. He already spent nearly $200 on some 6-inch shitty Android phone.
Oh God!
Just to be able to stream his games. So the shitty part about this whole conversation is it would take him all of maybe an hour of development time to update the pivot to use whatever new feed for games.
Yeah.
Because clearly all the streaming and all that stuff is already on the phone.
You should try and get a hold of them, see if they can contract that work out for you.
I'll take it.
So what you're saying is somebody at MLB listens to the 25.4 podcast.
And
Doesn't-
why wouldn't they?
Doesn't everybody?
All right. Is that all you
Everybody
had?
that matters.
Tim, that was all you had, right?
That is that.
Okay. Brandon, what's up there?
My grievance is denim Bluetooth issues on my Icon are getting pretty annoying. It's almost a daily occurrence now where it stops pairing with my headset, and I've got to reboot the phone in order to get Bluetooth working at all again. So I don't really know what they did, but speaking of breaking stuff in release builds, they clearly broke Bluetooth between black and denim. I don't know why. I know I'm not the only one, so kind of disappointed for as much emphasis as Verizon was putting on quality, according to Joe Belfiore, how much they totally screwed that up. As far as 10041 goes for Windows 10, I'm kind of dumbfounded at how many apps are busted. The Mail app, a couple of my other apps that I've tried to repair and uninstall and reinstall don't work. I kind of expect OS level things to go awry, but for the Mail app to be totally foobar is kind of weird. For apps that I pin to the start menu to have mangled names. It's just kind of something I wouldn't expect. I don't know why or how the code is structured such that they're screwing that up, but it kind of seems like poor decisions in code architecture to me. If you're trying to move forward in your code and you're breaking stuff that's worked for 2 full OS releases, back to Windows 8.0. So I'm kind of a little struggling with that realization. I realize that everybody in this podcast is laughing at me, and I hate you all. I'm a victim of circumstance here, and you can all go to hell.
If you're listening to the audio portion of the show, you really need to go to 25pt4.com and watch the video.
It's quite entertaining.
You won't be sorry, I promise.
Oh my.
So what was that,
Like an inch.
Brandon? I didn't really hear anything you just said.
Oh, boy. I'm done with you guys. I'm done.
Stop it. So that's it. That's the end of the show.
Yeah, special thanks to Bobby for chewing up the whole thing with his grievances.
We've got about 2 minutes left before we close out the show. We can get to the affirmations in the After Dark portion. Did anybody see or read the article about the custom ROM that's going to let people with a Xiaomi phone?
Yeah.
Hello Kitty phone.
Hello Kitty phone.
Yeah.
There you go.
So one thing that came out of some of that was that apparently the whole cyanogen thing
Mm.
and Microsoft's investment in that was not a for real thing, so that's not happening. But this is, so does anybody have any thoughts on that?
I think it's rather ingenious. Give people a choice. I don't know if the people will choose it, but if they want to try it and go that route and see how well it works out, it could lead to a lot of other new technologies, and who knows?
Yeah, I guess a lot depends on how they do it, right?
Yeah.
So go back and look at a picture of that phone and notice the hard keys on it and tell me how many times an existing Windows Phone user is going to throw that phone against the wall after they think they're hitting the back button, but they go home every single time.
I haven't seen a picture of the phone. Maybe I'll click on this.
Well, and what Windows Phone user actually looks at their buttons? I very seldom ever look at my buttons.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is you're accustomed to the back being on the left and the search being on the right, and that
Did I
phone...
miss that? I thought it was just that the icons were...
No,
Isn't that how Android phones are too, though?
you guys suck.
Okay, then.
Are you doing is that a mic drop?
Boom.
Just drop the whole laptop. Right there in the restaurant. All right, I'm looking now. Well, I don't see any picture of the phone here on this article.
Yeah, I don't either.
Andrew, I'm disappointed in you. And I'm disappointed because you didn't mention the yet another cheap budget $40 Lumia phone.
Yay!
You know, it's another day that ends in Y, Tim. I just by now. Let me do an official show close here, and we can continue this after dark. It's not dark out there though yet, is it, Robert?
No, not yet. But
Usually it is.
I can.
Do you guys do like daylight savings now, where it's
Yeah.
still light at 6:55?
Yeah.
Because usually
Yeah.
it's black out there.
It's actually gonna. Yeah, it's gonna get much lighter, much later here pretty soon.
So
But don't
Just like
worry.
the rest of the world.
I'll turn the shades down just for you, Andrew.
well, for after dark, I think that's appropriate.
Turn down for what?
So, 25pt4.com, that's the website where you can listen to or watch any and all of our shows. On Twitter, at 25.4podcast. We are available in your favorite podcast apps, including TuneIn Radio and Stitcher. And come back and see us again next week. Same time, same place, same group of lovely gentlemen will be here. Did I miss anything?
Yeah. We'll save it.
All right. Good night. Seacrest out.
Oh my god! Oh, I cannot take you fuckers anywhere. Oh my god!
What are you talking about? You can't take you guys anywhere. I can't take you guys anywhere. What are you talking about?
Good gravy.
It's just a good thing you got that Bluetooth headset in.
God, yeah.
God.
By now.
Jesus.
She was watching us. I tried waving.
I think she was into you, Tim.
Clearly.
As usual, she'd probably be into the gay guy.
And notice the gay guy's the only one with any fucking decorum at all.
Well,
Well,
that's
here's one for the
part of the
guy.
reason why.
No. Of course.
Why they're into the...
If Tim
Yeah,
Tebow had been behind Brandon, I can't be responsible for what would have
You
happened.
can't even say his name without stuttering. Look at you.
Man's hot. What can I say?
Today, Tim.
Pick another guest. That's our guest in one show. He wants to be on. We should just pin... I did this earlier, and I didn't realize I just had Brandon pinned up there. And
Nice.
Robert was going on, and I was just watching the... The guy behind you looks like he's Indian, so he's probably a developer.
Yeah, you should ask him.
Oh boy.
I do believe
I think
that
it was
was.
a
I think that was very politically incorrect. Andrew, I'm very disappointed in you.
The stereotypes exist for a reason, Bobby.
Oh, that's true. There is a reason why there's 3 Broadway show posters and a Moulin Rouge movie poster on my wall.
Thank you for saying that, because it's totally something we called out on you while you were walking around your house last episode.
Yes.
I can believe it.
Ask the guy behind you if he's got a
Speaking
Windows
of-
phone, Brandon.
Speaking of the stuff in the background of Bobby's room, what's in the box, dude? You look like you had a Dell box in the background.
Oh,
That's a
you know
Dell box.
that big ass box there? That's the 30-inch Dell IPS panel that I threw the lighter, whatever, at the desk. It popped up and broke it.
Oh, that's the return box.
That's the original box.
I see.
That whole closet is full of nothing but original boxes of shit I bought, in case I have to send it back.
In case you decide to throw it around.
Well, that too. That too.
Okay,
So-
so do we get to do affirmations now?
Yeah, do you want the intro and everything for it?
Well, it really wouldn't be
official.
the same without it, would it?
I didn't do any scheduled tweets today at all, so I'm just
Well,
putting
since
a little
you've
something
been,
out there for. I was slacking today.
yeah, since
Well, I would call that par.
Well, yeah, there. That's right.
Maybe you can do the intro and go for a birdie if it wouldn't kill you.
Look at us making the golf guy feel at home.
I have to take this one finger here.
Because I'm good enough, smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
Well, I don't know about the last part, but all right, Brandon, you're eager to say something.
Oh, I got to say that installation screen on 10041 was pretty awesome. I was thoroughly impressed with that. That was really nice. I think they did a good job with that. I ordered some Ninja Cat decals for my laptop. Thought I was being super awesome by making them print them on a transparent background. Turns out, since the horse was white, the entire horse is transparent.
Ooh.
So,
Hey.
so if I stick it on the back of my orange laptop, I get an orange horse.
Well, that's not.
So-
that's kind of cool.
Not optimal.
It's kind of cool, but not when you have a what colors are they? Red, yellow, green, blue for the flag, and orange
Right.
flame, and
You're
name,
right.
and
Exactly.
I would like to point out that my stickers from Redbubble came.
I don't have mine.
They are perfect. They
Nice
are
work.
lovely.
Did you send a picture to Rudy yet? You have to tweet a picture to Rudy.
See,
Aw,
it
that's
looks
perfect.
gorgeous. So Rudy can suck it. I don't know where he got his problems, but mine were fine.
Did you?
Maybe they were just playing a prank on him, and they totally sent him a bad batch just to piss him off.
I like how he magically had the stickers in hand the day that it was posted. Hey, you can order them from this place.
Yeah.
I don't know that he
So-
did necessarily if he was using a. I mean, it's hard to imagine, but maybe it was an image that he stole from somewhere else.
Well, it's
No.
not. It certainly wasn't Redbubble because their image was fine. So I don't know where he got that, but
Well, mine had the HoloLens on the horse, so I'm one-upping you there, Bobby.
oh, nice. Well, maybe I can get.
My last affirmation is that I'm headed to Arizona, so I'm out of the land of 50s and 60-degree weather, and I'm headed to 80. And it's my birthday this weekend. I'm coming back on Monday night.
Happy birthday! How old are you?
17.
I am 32. Yes, 32.
Boy, yes.
No, 33. 33. I'm 33.
By the way, you guys will appreciate this because I know there's an app for Windows Phone, but I'm now I'm meerkatting the After Dark as well.
Nice.
That's ridiculous.
Shit, you are.
Shut up. Seriously?
Yeah.
Hold on. This is my first meerkat. Oh my god.
I guess the only problem is that they won't be able to hear you guys. They could just hear me.
Well, you could play everything on speakers.
Someone's watching. Are you watching, Tim? I'll do that. I'll pull
Yes.
out my headphones.
You know, only broadcasting, Andrew, is a surefire way to make sure our viewer count goes down.
I think it's funny that you tweeted that to Joshua Topolsky, who's blocked me for some unknown reason on
Well,
Twitter.
he tweeted out that he wished more people were meerkatting.
Oh.
So, if
Can I
Josh
mute
is watching,
this?
are you watching?
Then-
I'll do that. Pull out my headphones.
Because now I get the leg through the
Okay.
meerkat.
I'm gonna give Joshua Topolsky what he wants, baby.
Yeah, no, the only meerkats I've ever been able to watch have been, you missed the show. Hey, our buddy behind you is watching the show.
Somebody else is watching the meerkat too that I don't recognize.
We're up to 4 people.
There's like 4
Viral.
people watching on Meerkat. This is crazy.
Mama,
Hold on, I've got an iPhone around here. I can.
thanks. Mama Yonk.
Boy, it's really delayed, though.
Yeah,
Okay, I gotta shut this down. It's tripping me out. Totally, like, my brain's, like, totally skitzing.
There's more people watching the meerkat than are watching it.
That's interesting. That's probably everybody watching Joshua Topolsky's feed for some reason.
Alright, I'm done with my affirmations. Bobby, go.
You know what? The entire team at Microsoft, and especially Gabe and the Windows Insiders team, I would have killed multiple people by now, so clearly you're better than I am. You guys, saints, angels, patience, it's incredible what you're doing. I don't think that there's another entity on the face of this earth that could pull this off. the amount of change that Microsoft has gone through in the last 12 months and the amount of change that's still to come. So good on you guys. And maybe stick your fingers in your ears the next time a certain person throws a hissy fit publicly.
Yeah, as soon
To
as
be
you
honest, there's like 5 of them.
I tweeted at Gabe, and he actually favorited my tweet, so that's pretty cool. I love how engaged he is on Twitter.
He is, and it's clear that no matter what invective gets thrown at them, they're right on message. Their message discipline has been awesome, and they've been very, very responsive.
Well, maybe Gabe should spend less time on Twitter and more time getting out fast ring builds.
Yeah, that kind of nonsense.
What was that voice?
Please. That was my hot take voice.
Generic Windows Central commenter voice.
Nice.
More angry sports talk radio caller or host voice, but
Yeah, there we go. That sounded accurate.
many scenarios.
Is that the voice you practiced over the last, what show is this, 13 episodes? So we're official
I
today?
was actually going to do a Brandon voice if he wasn't on the show. I was going to read.
Oh, I'm glad I tuned in now.
Well, you should have done it anyway.
Make a pit stop in Missouri on my way to Arizona, punk.
I think
I've already
with all these people gathering behind him in the airport, I think he really should organize a flash mob, like a dancing flash mob, and like do a little show for us right now.
We're actually going to be boarding here in a little bit, so
Turn around and tell
keep going.
it on Meerkat. I think we'll just do the show on Meerkat next time. So there's 6 people watching on Meerkat, which includes 3.
I'm off.
So there's 3 other people watching on Meerkat. There's only 2 people watching
What the fuck?
On
What
YouTube.
the hell is up with that? That doesn't make any sense.
Hey,
I'm not on
Meerkat might be
Meerkat,
onto
so it's not. I'm not on Meerkat right now, so.
I'm not either. Hey, they might be onto something. That might end up being a nice alternative to some Google stuff.
Well, maybe no one's watching then. It says there's 6 now watching, including all 3 of you guys.
I'm not watching.
But we're not watching.
Were you watching at one point?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
I did, but I had to close it because it wasn't coming through my headphones. It was coming over my other speakers.
Huh.
I just got a new follower on Twitter, too. Hey, keep this stuff up.
So maybe nobody's watching then. So that would be just like normal. But
The segment of the show where we discuss who's watching should be over now.
We're back down to 0. We can successfully do that.
Brandon, I just got the same follower.
Did you really?
Yes.
Nice. Hey, look at that. We got a fan.
what the heck?
Or something.
Or something.
Fan.
Fan, stalker. There are times, do you guys sometimes feel with the amount of interaction certain people have with you, even though it's one-sided, is a little stalkerish with some people on Twitter sometimes? Or is that just me? Like, certain people just constantly respond to everything you say?
Does it be kind of like Ryle Keddick or anybody like that?
No, not, well, used to be, but no, not him. No, it just generally, it just weirds me out a little bit.
Sometimes it's kind of weird when you get somebody who responds to like all of your tweets for like a week. It's kind of like, oh, okay, this is creepy.
Time to back off.
Tim, did you have an affirmation?
I would say I do. I placed an order for
You know why I have to ask, Tim? Hold on, I'm sorry to interrupt. But you know why I have to ask?
Why?
Because it's not in the show notes.
Can I be honest with you, Mr. Executive Producer?
Go ahead.
I opened the show notes during the show.
Yeah, I know.
For the first time.
Even popped in there during the show.
It's Passive Aggressive Thursday on today's
The guy behind
25.4
you, Brandon,
podcast.
really wants to watch, or he wants to be on. Ask him what his grievance is for the day.
Hey man, what's pissing you off?
No, my affirmation is a new set of golf clubs will be arriving tomorrow.
Oh.
Yes.
So I would They should be arriving right at about lunchtime when UPS makes their normal visit, so I'll be hitting the range at lunch.
Sweet.
That's
And
a little less affirmation and a little more masturbation, wouldn't you say?
Are they really any different? Were you really not
when I
something for Gabe
when
on
I
your
masturbate, I usually say, "Oh, Andy, you're so fucking good." It doesn't everybody?
Yeah, all the time. Hey, so Windows. Let's talk about Windows 10.
Hold on, but before we do that and get a little more serious, I just want to throw out my affirmation real quick,
Oh,
which is to Microsoft for finally rolling out the band in more of a wide release and making it more available.
Oh, Andy, you're so fucking good.
I know.
Did you?
I know, right?
Soundbite.
So, interestingly, it's kind of a similar thing that they did with the original Surface, where it was only available in the Microsoft stores for a while, and then before they finally rolled it out, more broadly in the retail channels. But good job.
Did you order yours yet?
No, not yet. I didn't.
How much of an affirmation is that really?
I said good job. That's affirming, isn't it?
So how much of that do you think was intentional with the Surface and was accidental with the band? Because I definitely got the sense that they were, I think, a little taken aback by how popular it was.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's really a theory or more common sense, really, because I think in both cases they kind of said that both the Surface and the band were more sort of hardware reference deals that they wanted their OEMs to kind of start following more than actual products that Microsoft wanted to release and then continue to sell. But I think in each case the success kind of forced their hand really into having to do it.
It was the let's not have another $900 million write-down strategy.
Yeah, something
like
that.
They did with the Surface RT.
Surface RT.
Speaking of Surface RT, you guys saw that Windows 10 basically says that it's straight up dead.
Yes, it is straight up dead.
Yeah, I think we covered that on show 2 or 3 or 4.
But now it's really dead. We've seen a roadmap now, and there's an X, and it means it's dead.
Is there a gravestone too? Was the roadmap released at WinHack? Because I've really been totally out of the loop.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, it was just a roadmap, showed the upgrade paths from Windows 7, Windows 8, and Windows RT.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening for Phoenix. Welcome to Flight 20.
That's right. I'm leaving for Phoenix, so I'll catch you guys later. I look forward to seeing how bad you make fun of me after I sign off.
Oh, yeah.
Ciao, bitches.
Messages
Yeah, you watch it.
extra time.
Oh my.
All right, you want to talk some more Windows 10?
So far, I haven't experienced the problem a lot of other people have experienced with the start menu disappearing. I did notice that it took a little bit of time after my last reboot, or login rather, for it to become available. Like, there was a definite shift in the background color when I could actually use it when it was loaded. It took a second, but that's annoying. Pin sites do not launch from the taskbar anymore. You can navigate to the app data, the local app data folder for your profile, and go into the pin sites folder under Microsoft and IE, and you can launch them from there, and they work just fine. But launching them from the taskbar does not work. What's interesting is you can right-click on them to get the context menu for the different direct links to different places, like with Outlook, Inbox, People, OneDrive. All those links actually do work, but if you just left-click on the actual pinned site, it will not launch, which I thought was kind of an odd bug to have all of a sudden. But oh well. Has anyone noticed anything else new and exciting other than the transparent?
Brad Sams has Spartan running, but I don't know if he's using a different build.
I almost thought he was hinting that he'd found a way to get it running in
Kind of what I was guessing.
31. But if he has, he's keeping it to himself.
Did you see his tweet earlier saying like what was it, like something, I have a really crazy rumor and I would piss off Gabe extremely if I
Yeah, I saw him
said that.
alluded that. I actually thought it was the spark. He said he thought he knew something.
That wasn't cool.
Yeah.
It's like hey, guess what?
Yeah. Who does
Never
that go?
As a certain Francia?
I wasn't even gonna say that.
Not out loud.
So yeah, I haven't even downloaded the new build yet, so I haven't had any.
No, neither am I.
With it.
I don't have anywhere to use it.
I did it on my desktop, but I'm not doing it on my Surface Pro. I'm leaving my Surface Pro at the previous build. From what I've seen, this build is crap on an SP3. So I'm going to move that thing down to the slow ring and just take the stable ones when they come, because apparently now you have to be on the slow ring in order for that to happen. Thanks, Tall.
When I hear slow ring and fast, I keep thinking of that Nuva ring. You guys know what that is?
Sounds right.
Knowing you, that's probably some kind of sex toy.
Well, not exactly. It's
Not quite.
implantable female contraceptive, I think.
Oh, well, close. I don't know why. Why on earth would that make you think of Nuva Ring?
Because ring. Duh.
Oh my. The things you find out about people. Wow. That's some twisted shit, Andy.
So my Dell Venue Pro is still hosed from the last build. I remember sharing it on video where I had the weird issues with the login screen kind of being misrotated and all that. Now I boot it up and I get the Dell logo because it's starting up, and it just sits at a black screen. And the only reason that I know it is on and is working, kind of, is when you hold the power button down, you get the little slide in, like, hey, slide me down to the bottom to shut down. Which means Windows is loaded, I don't get a screen to log in.
Graphics
You know
driver.
what you should do, Tim? You should download an Android ROM and flash that.
There you go.
That sounds,
Fix all your problems.
yes, the problem solver, thank you. So I was really hoping for, because that was a fresh install. I did a fresh install of Windows 8, I think, and then tried to do the upgrade to that build, and then I did a fresh install of that Windows 10 build, and it didn't work. So I was patiently, is the key word, patiently waiting for a new build. But fast ring builds do not get ISO releases, which sucks. You have to wait till they hit the slow ring.
So when I saw somebody, well, I thought I saw somebody post today that there are no ISO releases for the fast ring now. So
That's
saw another tweet, I think, that said that the ISO was now available. So one of the
this morning. I saw a ZDNet article that said that you don't get them. Go look though.
See, this whole change in pace has totally fucked everything up.
Shit.
not my tempo.
Let's see.
Leave
here.
the fucking
That was
cheese
right over
alone.
your guys' heads. So apparently, even Meerkat likes to is attracted to Brandon.
No, it's still 9926 ISO.
Because the tweet I saw was a response to you, actually, I think, Tim, about
Yeah,
ISO.
that was Robert McLaws and said you don't get them on the fast ring.
Bobby yammering one. I was just reading the chat. That was rude. I don't
I'm
yammer.
disappointed in Brandon that he didn't recruit a guest for us.
Yeah, that was a golden opportunity,
That
completely
was.
missed.
Seriously.
And
No,
his
I'm-
did a lot.
wife was there to back him up, so she would have.
Like, he's not creepy because he has somebody sitting there with him.
Exactly. Like, I'm not trying to hit on you. My wife is here.
There's a little part of me that thinks maybe his wife wouldn't have approved. I don't know why I get that impression, but
For
what
which
about
guest?
The Indian guy, then.
well, for any
Programmer friend.
any of them. I think Brandon interacting with people publicly might have been frowned upon. I don't know.
They're probably both watching us right now from the phone.
Shut up, assholes.
Hey guys, I can't do the show anymore.
My wife said, and I'm not allowed to hang out with you guys at Build.
Especially the homo.
Yours did go up from 2 to 3, so.
Hey, there you go. Right in time for the jokes.
The what?
The homo comment.
Giggling gay.
Giggling gay. I love that expression.
What was that?
The giggling gay.
The giggling gay. Yeah. Oh well.
So
Good lord.
I read this.
You're gonna get a new Windows 10 for phone build.
So I'm patiently waiting for one of those. I'm still running on the fresh install from 3.5 weeks ago, and overall it's pretty solid considering that I know that the 830's hardware was pretty mediocre to begin with, and I experienced that with 8.1.
Mhm.
But there's only a couple annoyances. Like I get a lockup probably every day, or every other day that I have to do a soft reset. And then there's times where when I unlock the phone, I swipe up to unlock it, the image of the lock screen stays in place, and I see kind of the start screen in the background. A second later, it pops in. That's fine. Like the Action Center, like when you swipe down, you can see. Let me see if I can show you. It's like when I swipe, you see the next row keeps coming in.
Yeah.
Let go, 1, 2, and then it pops away. That's really it. The camera's really slow to launch, which I expect. The Microsoft Health app does not work. The app works, but if I want to look at my sleep details, you know how they have. So you've got all these main list views and everything for all the different things. Let's see, go to my less than 5 hours of sleep last night. When I tap that, you see it expanded. Like it's underneath there. You can see the white section in the bottom, but all the list things are stuck on top, so I can't look at anything. So that's really the only app that I've seen that actually doesn't work properly. Other than that, I mean, it's solid. I don't know how much is actually different because it was the first build from a few weeks back now. Just care about the messaging. I'm just sick of picking up my phone during the day to respond to text messages. I just want that on the desktop. That's all I care about.
Eventually, it'll get there.
Yeah.
It'll get there. I actually was having dueling Hey Cortanas between my phone and my desktop. Well, I was doing a reminder test or a text test, and I was trying to do it to the phone, but the desktop intercepted it, and I got the this feature's not yet ready message, and I was like, oh, I really hope that that's there intentionally, that it's not just some accidental generic thing. Hey, answer this way whenever anybody asks for anything I don't already support. Hopefully it's specifically there because of text messaging, because that's going to be really cool. I've seen Apple's implementation of that in the latest version of OS 10, OS X, and iOS, and it works pretty well. I haven't heard Greg really complain about it, and it seems to work okay. You know, he's been able to. We've had text conversations where he's on his computer and he's sending stuff back. I just wish I could do that on my computer. Hopefully not in the same house, though. That would be weird. but not completely unheard of.
All right. Are we done?
I don't know. Are we?
Yeah, my final grievance. I have another grievance.
Oh,
The espresso
on.
machine in our office at work has been out of commission for like 2 weeks now, and I've been dealing with the sock water coffee. So I'm just patiently waiting for our espresso machine to come back. That's all.
Nice.
well, good luck.
It's a pretty big deal. So I'm sorry.
No, I understand. That can be painful.
Ow.
Yes, painful. There you go.
On the show. I think we need a guest host.
Yeah, we should have a guest from time to
I
time.
think Tall
A guest
Parrot will be out, right?
What's that?
So I guess Tall Parrot is probably out.
Well, considering he hasn't seen the show, then again, considering we don't have anybody watching, how many viewers do we have? I know we have one viewer. Steve is watching.
But we do have a lot of people who listen, so, you know.
Now, you see, I want to know numbers of actual plays. Those are downloads, which are background downloads from podcast apps.
God, you're so demanding.
No, I'm saying I don't think you can get those numbers.
Picky fucking bitch. Just
I
take the
pay
download number.
$2 a month extra for analytics, so it's something for that.
You should do
what?
it.
The Libsyn, they charge $2 extra a month for their full analytics.
Damn.
How do they track plays though?
Well, maybe they don't. I don't know. Hold
Yeah,
on.
because all different podcast apps.
I'm usually too lazy to drill in, so I just look at that graph that I always send you guys.
I like that graph.
It's actually. Let me see. Hold on. Let me share my screen. I'm gonna say watch the Meerkat, but that doesn't work for you guys. So there's actually a slider on here too, so you can expand this out all the way. Like, so I can go all the way down.
Dang,
That's not a bad trend line.
that is a nice trend line.
Oh, pretty good.
You know what
I mean,
that
one thing,
at least shows is the number of, hey, let's add this to my app. My podcast app is increasing.
there is this green button here that says View All Stats.
You've been hiding that secret button from us this whole time.
I have. Well, I knew somebody would say, "Hey, what happens if you click on that?" I noticed this week.
You wouldn't want to put in any effort, right?
We need to get the Monday bounce this week, like we have been.
Well, then he would have said, well, then I got to pay $2, and then we would have berated him into doing it, and then his wife would have kicked his ass because he spent $2 on this bullshit.
Yeah.
So,
Let's see. Here we go. Details. So for episode 13, had 114 downloads so far.
What other podcast has this level of transparency, people?
or this level of depressing statistics.
Oh, what does destinations on top say? Maybe that means like who's
Oh no, that's for
lame.
that's just something to do with where you store the where the file is stored and stuff.
That is the wrong answer.
Yeah. Too bad.
For you.
Well, the trend line is moving in the right direction, so we can't be all bad, right? Right.
Right.
Just checking.
There's another upgrade to get even more stats. So we just have the very basic of basic plans.
If we could get some nice little sponsorship, then maybe we'll have some neato analytics.
Hey,
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Give us your money.
We're providing value.
Then we'll
If you're
see.
listening to this for more than 2 minutes, you got your values worth.
All right, gentlemen. It's that time.
It
I
is.
believe, there's the show notes. Everybody's still watching. All right, stop.
You're showing our secrets.
Yeah. Not all of our secrets, Tim.
I don't even know what that means.
That's the point. It's open to interpretation. Whatever your dirty little mind wants to take it.
Including where my dirty little mind wants to take it.
Right up the trivia crack.
Insert that right in there.
Oh, hey, do you guys have on your Trivia Crack app? There's a new mode, like a group.
We have Windows phones.
Do you guys
We have
have
Windows
a
phones,
phone
so-
version?
Yeah, we don't know. We have
I
Windows
did one
phones.
last night and invited the three of you, and since none of you did it, I won.
I got a notification last night, but then when I tapped on the notification this morning, the app just spun and wouldn't actually finish launching, and I had to kill it. And then when I reopened it, it was the same game, last display of finished games that I had. There was nothing new.
Okay.
So yeah,
Can
we're
you
on
turn
Windows
off
phones.
notifications?
I don't know.
Seriously, I don't want to play every day, and the notifications are annoying, and there's no way to turn them off.
Mm.
Well, Bobby, you'll be happy to know I just got a Shakespeare question right. So,
Hey, all right for that. You're moving up in the world.
it was a guess. I just pushed a button.
Well,
Well, I wouldn't have admitted to that.
no, because then you're
It was
just
an art. It was
Then
an
you're,
art category.
then you're just a trained monkey.
It's art. I don't pretend to know art. It's the last category I go for.
My statistics reflect the stereotype. My science, my geography, my art, all really high. Shockingly, though, my entertainment is down at the bottom with sports, which is a little weird. But hey, I like bucking trends, right?
Art is the lowest for me. That's funny.
I think art is the lowest for me as well.
Science
See,
and sports.
that's how we know you're not gay. That's how we know you're not gay.
Hey, stereotypes exist for a reason.
But I'm in a pretty tight dispersion.
We've both held our breath.
Yeah, we just like wait for you to finish that sentence. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Have a wonderful evening. It was a wonderful show, and see you tomorrow or virtually.
Our best yet,
Our best yet, man.
Mark.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.
Bye-bye.